Hey, Genoy, come on. Have a seat up here. All right, hey everybody, quiet down for me, all right? So look, we're making a video while we're doing this just so I can show you, and Austin and Con aren't here, and I might be neglecting another one and I'm talking, but all right, like we talked about yesterday, you saw a preview video, you saw an outline of the different organ systems that you're kind of supposed to be looking at, or organs that you're going to identify. But look, introductory 9th grade biology, we're doing a survey introduction to dissection and dissective techniques. So remember, you need your gloves, you need your eye protection. We have aprons and all that other stuff available to you, but not a big deal. So like we talked about yesterday, all right, we begin by doing a midline or a sagittal incision. We'll start it down here in the pelvic area, but we'll work all the way up to the jawline. So just to begin, do that snip, okay? And this will separate the skin. In fact, you can even see here as I'm going through, that's just underneath skin, all right? I haven't gone through the abdominal muscles, which we will have to, but if you free the skin up first, it makes it easier to do the incision at least up to the breastbone, but you know, we could keep going. So you get the skin all the way up, so now we can expose the musculature underneath. All right, as you see right there, our frog's a little muscular. He's got at least a six-pack there, right? All right. Now these frogs, they exercise a lot, right? Because they jump pretty much everywhere they go. They don't typically crawl around, so it uses little burst motions of movement. So they tend to be fairly lean. All right. Let me cut the skin back so you can see a little bit better. Just get the stuff out of the way here. All right. Huh? We do have pins to hold it down. Now, I'm not using a good tray for that, all right? So I'm going to be doing everything kind of free-handed, and I'm going to take those side cuts to the back a lot deeper so that everything will hold open on its own. But just to show you, I want you to understand that these go deep very quickly. So to move forward to go through the abdominal muscles, you want to just barely insert one of your separated scissors until you can feel the tissue give away. It'll have kind of like a slight grinding sensation in a way, and then you'll feel it sawing. After that, you just work the tip of the scissors all the way down. And when you get about here, you're going to feel hardness. That's the breastbone and the rib cage all through the area. All right. So what you need to do is power through it. So just, it's pretty easy. I thought it would be harder than it is. All right. But you'll have to actually snip. Your scissors cut a lot better at the tip than trying to cut long gashes. All right. So just work little snips all the way down. Now, guys, why don't we want to go deep? Hey, why don't we want to go deep with the scissors? What are we trying not to do? Exactly. We don't want to cut the deep tissues in the organs because we want to be able to visualize them and see them. Okay? Yes?
One question appeared. What if it comes alive while we're doing this?
Will never happen. I promise you the frog will not come alive. Burning? I do smell burning. It's not in here though. At least I don't think it is. Yeah. Anyhow, guys, let's get focused again. So we come back up here, up to the breastbone, and you can kind of cut that tissue back too. All right. It does smell like something's burning in here, doesn't it? All right. So after that, you might have some tissues. You have to remember that the body walls, the internal linings of the body and tissue of the frog and of humans, guys, they have a lot of connective tissue in there that helps support and protect what's inside. Now at this point, you would take your pin, like this guy right here, and you would insert it at a down angle to kind of pin the body flaps back. But we're not going to do that. Well, I'm not going to do that because I don't have a gel pad underneath. So basically, I'm just going to hold them open while I describe the internal anatomy that you're responsible for today. All right, so first, we have the three-lobe liver. That's the most prominent part when you're looking ventrally as you're going into the frog. All right, that's the liver. 1, 2, 3 lobes of it. Just above the liver, you'll see this kind of tannish mass. It's actually the heart It's inside a sac called the pericardial sac. Behind that, underneath here, we'll have lungs, but we'll get to those in a minute. All right. If you get your hands in there and part some of the material, you'll see this gallbladder, that greenish sac that's between my two fingertips. Okay. It's a gallbladder. All right. The stomach. Okay. Now the small intestine is connected directly. Your whole digestive tract is a single tube from mouth to anus, right? So it has a small intestine below it, and one way that you can identify that it is the small intestine is it has this thin membrane called the mesenteric complex. Can you guys tell me, what does your intestine do? It brings in nutrients, all right? So you eat, food goes through your stomach and gets churned up, and then a lot of it gets absorbed in the intestines. So all that membrane is loaded down with a lot of blood vessels that helps carry away nutrition as well as support the intestine itself. Moving down further, you have the cloaca, which is basically like a large intestine and a common colon area. Now remember, the cloaca is the fusion of three systems for elimination. The reproductive system, they pass eggs and sperm out of this. They pass urinary waste out of this, and then they also pass digestive mass out of this. So everything goes out at one point on the frog, all right? These finger-like spaghetti-looking appendages right here, those are all just big bodies of fat, just like you said. Good, James. All right? Behind you here's the spleen, okay? Kidneys are further up behind. I'm not too worried about you identifying those visually and setting them, but there you have it. Now, what you can elect to do, and this is optional, is you can remove the stomach and inspect the internal contents of the stomach. And the way you do that is you just do a cut here and a cut higher up and separate it from any of the supportive vascular networks and connective tissue. And then after that, you can do the cut down the length of it. I'm not going to bother with it right now because I want to turn you guys to work so you don't run out of time. All right? If you get through with everything, remember, you're trying to identify the heart, the liver, the stomach, the intestines, the cloaca or large intestine, the spleen, the fat bodies which should be in there. And if you have a female and she was ready to lay eggs, this whole body cavity would be loaded down with eggs that you have to sweep out. I haven't seen any of those yet. All right? So there's a chance we still have a whole lot to go through yet. So right now what I want you guys to go ahead, get some gloves, get some goggles from the back of the room, and partner up. Partner up.